My sister, she was born my brother, Robert, and then she became my sister. Well, she's not agreeing with my gender reveal party for my kid that's about to be born. She says that it's not my decision to choose what gender my kid is born with, so having a party to reveal the gender before the kid has a chance to want the gender of their choosing, well, I don't really agree with that because I want to see if my baby is going to be a boy or a girl. And that's why we're butting heads. And guys, she has the nerve to tell me this. First off, I just wanted to say that I love my sister and will be referring to her as Jenna in this post and future updates. I'll not tell you her, real name. Up until she was 18 years of age, I knew her as my brother. I was very close with my little brother, even though there was a 9-year age difference between us. When Jenna came out to us, it was a shock. See, she's been transitioning for the past year, and I've tried to support her as much as I can, and our parents have been having a hard time wrapping their heads around it. They believe Jenna is still a boy and refer to her as that, and I've tried my darndest to be a peacemaker in the family household and make everybody happy, but it has not been very easy. Not everyone understands Jenna, and they're always telling me not to support her. I mean, sure, I miss my brother like hell sometimes. Maybe it makes me a bad sister to think like this, but I wish we could go back in time when all of this was simply not happening. But there's nothing much that I can do about it but stay positive and make do with what I have. I mean, Jenna is still the same person, my younger sibling whom I always will protect. I'm currently reaching the end of my second trimester. I've been planning a gender reveal party that also doubles as a baby shower. I want all the important people in my life to be there, and I don't care if they have any grudges against each other. I need them all to be there simply for my baby. I made sure to tell everyone in the family that the gender reveal party was a neutral zone. If anybody fought or caused any sort of havoc, then I was simply going to kick them out. I had to give them this warning because there's never a shortage of drama in my family, both the one I got married in and the one I was naturally born into. There's always people who are beefing with each other, and probably because we do live in such a small town. I always try to be the mediator and get along with absolutely everyone, which always leads to stress. Since stress is not good for somebody who's expecting it, I've been trying to limit stress. Unfortunately, people just do not respect it, and now I'm on the verge of not even having the event. Nobody's been helping me with the planning because they're all busy. At least Jenna's coming back from the city in a couple of days to help me out. However, if my in-laws have anything to do with it, my own siblings are not going to be able to attend the gender reveal party. Well, hear me out. I got a message from my mother-in-law telling me that she accepted me and allowed everyone to come to the party, but she felt as if I was just looking for trouble. I thanked her for the concern, but I told her that it was a day when I wanted to be surrounded by the people that I love, and could invite anyone I wanted. I always saw the best in people and did not have any enemies in life. She then told me that she wanted to be more specific since she felt I did not understand her. Well, okay. I asked her to explain, and she told me that she did not want my gay brother to be at the party. Well, I asked her why she didn't want my trans sister to come to the party, and she just told me that Jenna would be distracting to the kids because she always dresses in a very eccentric way. So I told her I would tell Jenna to tone it down, but I was not going to exclude her. Already, she was very excluded inside of our small little town. Our own parents didn't even consider her to be their child, and I feared. Excluding her was going to further isolate her. Already, she was going through so many changes and had been distant from me. And I felt as if I had to get to know a whole new person and get to love a whole new person. I mean, I was not going to push her away just because someone's level of comfort. I told mother-in-law that if she did not want to come, she could skip it. I had already made many provisions for her ever since I got married. I had agreed to give up the dream house of mine so that Andy and I could live closer. She lived alone and just constantly complained that all of her kids left her. I've even been okay with her taking most weekends with my husband to bond. When I tried to tag along, she would tell me that it did not feel the same, so I stopped tagging along and let him have time with her son. I've always been a people pleaser, and my therapist told me that years ago, and explained what would happen if I did not get it under control. I decided not to listen to her, thinking that I was just very loving and empathetic. I've continued to make provisions for anyone but myself, and well, now that I'm having my first child, I would love if people also made provisions for me. I wish everyone could just be like my husband. He's always been the one person who does not stress me and actually relieves my stress. You see, I never have to give too much for him without nothing in return, and everything seems to be reciprocated. When I met him, he warned me that he did not know how to be kind. He was attracted to me because of how kind I was. But he was also wanting to protect me. He said that with me, he felt as if he could let his guard down and care for another human being. He's done the opposite for me. He's taught me to think for myself first. Of course, old habits die hard, and I'm not always able to do it. Lately, however, I've been prioritizing myself more, and I have no choice because I'm carrying this child. If I'm not okay, then the child will not be okay. So no more taking extra tasks at work, doing risky favors for friends, or even cooking for myself. He's keeping an eye on me, and he does not want anything that stresses me. And this week, it's been his mom. She infuriated me to the point where I had to tell Andy I did not want to mess up her relationship with her son. But I guess she gave me not really much of a choice. She knows that lately I've been his first priority before anyone else, and I'll tell you that something is bothering me, and then he'll take care of it. Well, when I told him that this time, the thing bothered me was his mom. He acted accordingly and confronted her, and I had no idea that he, would go to her house and shouted at her for stressing me. He told her that she should do everything to make me happy because I was carrying her grandchild. He told her that if I wanted the moon, then she better have a way to give it to me. Well, apparently they ended up in an argument, and he threatened to revoke her invitation to the party. She texted me as soon as he left her house just to tell me what had happened, and she also told me that she did not appreciate the way that I had used dirty tactics to get what I wanted. Well, she then warned me that once I gave birth, everything was going to change. I did not appreciate what she said to me, so I just, archived her chat and stopped talking to her, and it's up to her if she wants to come to my party or not. What is not going to happen is me giving up something just to make someone else happy. Well, is this what setting boundaries feels like? It does not feel as good as I thought it would. I do feel somewhat guilty about making my husband fight with his own mom. I guess I'll have to learn to live with it. Anyways, I'll update you guys in just a bit. Update number 1, 2 weeks later. Hey, we're a couple of days away from having my baby shower, and I'm excited. My sister arrived in town a couple of days ago, and she's staying with us. She says that she'll be here for a couple of weeks, and she has some work to do on this side of the country, so she thought it would be convenient to stay with us. Well, I was very happy to see her, though I'd say she looked very different. She came up with some great ideas for my baby shower, which I loved a lot, and she's always been very good with colors and decorations, even when we were children. She managed to get the best-looking things at a bargain, and everything started to come together. There's just, one problem, and it's something that she said about the gender reveal. So I asked her for ideas about how we would reveal the gender of our child. I wanted to do it in a creative, fun way. She then asked me why I was doing a gender reveal because it was very problematic, and I asked her, well, what do you mean by that? And she asked why I needed to know what the gender of the child was. Would it not make me love it even any less? Well, I said it would not, but it would help me decorate the nursery. Well, at that point, she rolls her eyes and asked if I was going to do blue for a boy and pink for a girl, and I said, of course. That's kind of tradition. She, then said that it was very stereotypical. Why would girls not like blue and vice versa? So I said that it was just a baby who had not made his or her decision yet. So then she asked me, well, if I was going to make those decisions for my baby. Why not just wait until they can decide themselves? And I was starting to get frustrated by the conversation and what she was accusing me of, so I changed the subject. We've not spoken about it ever since, but I feel that her reaction to this gender reveal party was oh so weird. I think that she's looking too much into it, and it has nothing to do with stereotypes, as she said. I'm not satisfied with the end of the conversation. I wanted to say so much more to her, but I did not want to hurt her. It's a sensitive topic for her, and I feel that she's projecting on my unborn child. I'm going to have that gender reveal party. It's my right as a parent, and I want, to communicate that to her before the party. But I don't really know if I should. What do you guys think? Should I say something before this escalates, or should I just keep quiet and be the peacemaker? I'm afraid I will upset her and she'll go back to her home. All of that fighting with my mother-in-law would have been for nothing. Please, advise me on the next steps. Update number 2, 1 week later. Hey, so I just wanted to give a short update and also respond to the comment section. Tomorrow is my baby shower and I'm very excited, and I've just seen the end results of the decoration and it looks so good. It looks like a baby shower fit for royalty, and it's all thanks to my sister, and I'm really thankful to her. Without her, my day would not be so great. With that being said, I wanted to address some comments, and I cannot address all of them, but I'll just pick 2. The first comment was very interesting. The commenter said that I'm a very kind person for being so accommodating, and you guys suggested that I only bring it up with Jenna if she continues to take issue with it and makes me upset. Well, that's not happened ever since, and I'm glad, because you know what? I really hate conflict. The second comment was a bit alarming. You said that I should be careful about alienating my mother-in-law because of Jenna, whom I barely even know anymore. I do appreciate your concern, but trust me, everything is fine. My mother-in-law came to her senses and confirmed that she would be at the party tomorrow. Well, I'm so glad that everything's going without a hitch. Tonight we had a special dinner for my sister, and I wanted to show my appreciation for her help lately. She's taken over all the appointments I've had for the shower. She has also helped around the house, and since I cannot stand for too long, I've had the most stress-free time because of her. She was very thankful that I organized a dinner in honor of her, and she told me that she would always do whatever she could to help. She then told me that she could not wait till the next day. She has something very big planned for me that I am going to absolutely love. She said that she put a lot of thought into it, and a bit of herself as well. Well, I laughed and jokingly said that she should have never told me that she had a surprise for me, because I hate when people tell me surprises. I get very curious about what the surprise could be and cannot think about anything else. I feel like a long time ago she would not have told me, and I decided not to dwell on that little detail and instead thanked her for whatever she had planned for me. It felt good to be appreciated by the people in life, and I can't wait till tomorrow because I can finally find out if I'm having a boy or a girl. I already have 2 shopping carts ready to check out as soon as I find out what the gender of my unborn child is. You'll be the first person after the family to find out what the gender is. Guys, I promise you that. But now I have to get some beauty sleep so I can look at my pictures tomorrow. Update number 3, 2 days later. Hey guys, well, I didn't get to find out the gender of my child when I was supposed to. Instead, I was robbed of that moment by somebody that I trusted, and I just don't get where I went wrong. For someone I love to do this to me, and I'm honestly disgusted and frustrated by all of that happened on the day. Well, I lost someone very important to me on that day. They're as good as dead to me, and here's the reason why. The shower was going according to plan until the time when we had to reveal my baby's gender. We chose to have smoke bombs with either blue or pink smoke, but would, be for a boy and pink for a girl, and Jenna was responsible for ordering the relevant smoke bombs so that the gender reveal would be a secret for us. Well, however, when we fired them, we were in for a surprise, because instead of blue or pink or, those 2 colors, rainbows came out. For a moment, I was absolutely astonished, thinking that maybe the smoke bombs had malfunction. No one cheered. They all just started muttering in confusion, and we were not confused for much longer because Jenna went ahead and took the microphone. She said that we all must be wondering why the smoke was rainbow. She said that she felt inspired by her own story because of her battle with her gender identity. She then went on to give a short summary to everyone who was present, and I was silent because I truly was shocked and curious about where she was headed with this. After her story, Jenna then said that she felt that we should not announce the gender of the baby yet. Instead, we should refer to the baby as they until it decides for itself. She then went on to talk about how it was harmful to just assign genders at birth. But I was not having any of it. I was shaking with anger. Did she really have to make this about her? It really wasn't that deep. I just wanted to have a dang gender reveal. Not turn this into some sort of awareness event for her. I could not stand there and listen to her ruin my day any longer, so I turned my heels and left with my husband. As soon as I sat in the car, I started to cry. She had ruined my day, and she did not see that. I've done a lot for her. The least she could have done was make sure that my day went the way that I wanted it to go. Wow. Why did she have to do that? Now I cannot find out my child's gender in the way that I wanted. And by the way, I'm having a boy. Ugh. I had to find out the boring way because someone decided to ruin things. I've not talked to her since what happened, and she's not been at home since. I sent her a message later on that day to tell her that I need some space away from her. She needed to go and stay with our parents or somewhere else, and my husband's the one who dealt with her and gave Jenna her things. I was in bed. Still very upset from what happened, and I could not stop thinking about it and getting very, very angry. Andy tried his darndest to get me to calm down, but, well, my temperature has been very high lately, and the fears it will affect the baby. Well, I try to stay calm, but I don't know. Every time I think of the nerve Jenna had, I get even more angry with it. That was unprovoked and disrespectful no matter how you look at it, and I'm usually an easygoing person, but I can see that this was disrespectful. She was probably trying to get back at me for even wanting to do a gender reveal. She's trying to provoke a reaction out of me, and it worked. I'm provoked, and I'm not going to let her step all over me again. Not when it comes to children. She has awakened the mother bear in me, and will live to regret it. The person who was standing there was not my sibling at all. My brother would have never done that. Update for a day later. Today I went to my parents' house and confronted Jenna. My mom confirmed that she was home and open to speak. Clearly, she had no idea how far she pushed me. If Jenna knew, then she would never have agreed to meet me because it was not a social call. Well, when I got there, she tried to hug me and I backed away from her hug and she just looked at me like I was weird. Well, I was not the weird one, and she was for what she did. I didn't waste time. I told her calmly that I did not appreciate the way that she messed with my baby's gender reveal, and it was supposed to be a special day. She ruined it. She laughed and asked if it was really that sensitive to me, and, if it was pregnancy that was affecting me. Well, that statement alone was enough for me to drop my politeness, and in my head, I was thinking that she did not just invalidate my feelings because I was pregnant. I told her that I was upset because she made the event about her and her journey when it had nothing to do with it. She then said that she actually made the event better and I should thank her. She claimed that I was incredibly tone-deaf and acting like, I wasn't liking her type. I then told her that she threw that word so easily when somebody pointed out her wrongdoings. It was not going to work, and I was upset with her, and I wanted her to apologize. She then started to speak over me and call me all sorts of names over and over, and I realized that I was speaking to a fool. So I shut up in the end, and then she just went on a rant about how she thought I supported her. But I was just like everyone else, and Jenna then said that she wished my baby would come out just like hers so that I could know her pain. That statement made me so angry. What right did she have to tell me who my baby would be? I was the one who was arguing with her, not my baby. You best believe that I was feeling hot anger by then, and I called Jenna by her dead name, Robert. I said that she would never know the pain she caused me because she would never be a real woman. Even if she dressed up or acted like one, her lack of empathy would always prove that she wasn't one. In fact, he was not one. I told Robert that I was never going to refer to him as Jenna again. He didn't deserve the honor, and I was disgusted by him. If he uttered another word against my child, he would regret it. Well, guys, he stood up and stormed out of the room, and my parents were just sitting there and looking at us, and I told them not to get involved. Then I left. I'm honestly fed up. Robert was too far and lost all respect I used to have for him. I didn't even know this person who is in his body anymore because, frankly, his attitude sucks. Update number 5. A day later. I've just done something. It's my first doing of something like this, and I don't know how to feel. My heart is beating so fast as I wait for results, and I have so much adrenaline when I was doing it. But now things are slowly getting back to normal. I did it, and I successfully got an eye for an eye. I've always been a believer in turning the other cheek, but this time I simply could not. Being betrayed by a sibling hurt so much more than anything else, and I just literally felt my bond with my brother break, and it hurt like hell. I just needed something to happen so that I would be even with him, and maybe it's pregnancy that's making me like this. What the hell? What is done now, and I'm just going to wait for the results. I've decided to go back to my parents a day after my argument with Robert, and my mom asked to see me so that we could discuss a way forward. I only went when I was satisfied that Robert wasn't there. I then had a long conversation with my mom, who was trying to figure out how to move forward. Of course, I got my passiveness from her. Now, she was trying to do some kumbaya stuff, and I was not really buying it. So I just sat there and half listened to her, and after she was done, I told her that I needed some time to process this. And she said that at least was not dismissive of the idea. I didn't have the heart to tell her that I had the perfect way to settle this. Instead, I just told her that I was going to the bathroom and snuck into Robert's room, and once I was inside, I made my way to the bathroom. Robert has rainbow-colored hair in preparation for Pride, which will be in a couple of days, and if there's one thing that Robert loves, it's keeping his hair clean and always smelling good. Even if his hair is dyed, he washes it a lot, which I guess defeats the purpose, right? So I decided to leave a little surprise in his shampoo and conditioner. He's lucky that I decided to let him keep his hair. My initial plan was to fill the shampoo bottle with hair remover, but I felt that was too extreme. Instead, I decided to do something that would inconvenience his plans for Pride. Since he already decided to have Pride at my baby shower, I was going to take away his rainbow-colored hair. I filled the shampoo and conditioner bottle with the strongest bleach that I could find, and I hoped that it would work and that he would not realize what happened. After that, I hid some of the props that he wanted to use for Pride and put them in the bin outside, which was about to be taken away, and after I was satisfied, I merely made my way home. I then took a nice long nap after a hard day of work, and, well, now we wait. Update 6, 1 day later. As you can imagine, I was not disappointed in the results of my prank. He washed his hair in the morning, and after I changed his shampoo, and as soon as he realized what happened, he called Mom. He then found out that I was the culprit. Screaming names at me, I hung up since it was early in the morning and he woke me up, so I just went back to sleep. But I was rudely awakened soon after. It was him. He was making a scene downstairs, so I walked downstairs and was met with the most ridiculous hair color I've ever seen. That's right. His hair had splotches of colors, some of it faded and some of it looked muddy. I could not quite understand what was going on in his head, and I then made a joke and asked if he let a kid color his hair. He then tried to launch himself at me, but Andy held him back, and Andy said if he dared to lay a hand on me, he was going to be taught a lesson. That seemed to calm him down, and he asked me if I was the one who had messed with the shampoo, and I admitted to it right then, and told him that now we're even. I asked him to leave my house because I did not have any patience with him, and he told me not to call him by his dead name, but I didn't give a darn. I told him that he was the one who started this, but now that he could not handle it, Well, he told me that I ruined all of his preparation and that he would have to redo it. Well, I said that at least he could do is redo it. As for me, there was no redoing the gender reveal party, and I then told him never to set foot in my home again. He then said that he did not consider me a safe space anymore. Well, okay. I just told him I didn't consider him family. In fact, I wanted him to leave my house and never come back. He scoffed and seemed like he wanted to say much more, but Andy told him to go ahead and leave. Well, he had no choice but to turn around and leave. I mean, he was fuming, which was good because now he knew what it felt like when someone disrespected him. I then went back to sleep, and after he left and forgot all about him. Final update 2 months later, update number 7. Hey, it's me again. Just wanted to tell you that I gave birth to a bouncing baby boy 3 days ago, and yes, he's very healthy, and the labor was not that bad. I've already gone home, and I'm overjoyed, to be honest. I was so worried about him when I went into labor before the due date. My whole family visited me except for Robert, and we've written each other off and have not spoken since that day that he came to my house. Well, as far as I'm concerned, my brother is dead. I'll forever cherish the memory of Robert I knew for 18 years. I mean, when he was kind, sweet, and respectful. The person walking around calling himself Robert has no relation to me now. I've told everyone in my life to mention him in my presence, and if they continue to do so, they can also find the door. I want to make my recovery peaceful and nothing like stressing me out, huh? Well, I'm not unhappy about how things turned out. The true colors came out, and at least now I'm not living in dreamland. I wanted to just badly keep his memory alive, not knowing that he hated me to the point. Well, I will not overanalyze this and find a way to blame myself like I always do. No, I'm going to stick to this decision and move on with my life. There's so much more that I need to focus on, such as my dear baby. The first few days are going to be a bit hectic, but at least the whole family has offered their support, even my mother-in-law. After the drama with Robert, well, she started to come to the house to check on the baby, and we might never get along, but I know that she at least loves her grandson. Guys, it doesn't matter whose side you're on with this one. If you're on OP's side or her sister's side, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, this sucks. It sucks that two siblings have such a big feud with each other when they used to be so loving and caring for one another. And I just feel like people get caught up in their beliefs and they end up hating someone that they love just because they believe in something different. And it doesn't need to be like that. But I want to hear from you guys what you would have done if you were in OP's position. Would you have forgiven your sibling being OP and said, you know what, at the end of the day, this is my sibling and I'm going to make it work? Let me know what you would have done in the comment section down below, guys. My name's Mr. Reddito, and I narrate stories like this every single day. If you want to be a part of these stories, the best way is just simple. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. And of course, remember, it's cool to be kind. See ya.